What is up, guys? Riley here, and today we're going to be checking out a new brushless setup from furitek for the C10. Okay, so I am so excited to show you what we've got today. Today we're going to be running the furitek cedar motor along with the Python Pro in the C10. This is a red anodized setup along with the motor mount. As you can see here, beautiful red anodized motor mount. Along with the in-runner cedar motor with the black. I think it really looks good, really matches. In the Python Pro, which is going to give us a crazy good slow crawl and just help deliver the energy, but the battery power to the actual motor and such, and just really help it out a ton. The Python Pro has a internal Bluetooth module, so you don't have your little module kind of dangling and, you know, kind of getting in the way, making everything look like a mess. This is a waterproof setup, both the Python Pro and the cedar motor. The Python Pro can run up to 4S. It's in an aluminum case, red anodized, as you can see. The bottom part is black. I was thinking about taking the top off, getting somebody to anodize it like a silver, just to match, you know, the shocks of the C10 and like the green body. But I actually really like how the red stands out. Next is the motor. Like I said, the motor is waterproof. You do need to pay attention to the bolt pattern. There's a wide bolt pattern and a short bolt pattern on the motor. So if you take a look at that, you're going to want to use the short bolt pattern. I didn't notice that, so I was trying to use the wide bolt pattern without knowing, and I was having a bit of a hard time getting it together. It wouldn't go together, so I pulled the motor away from the transmission, looked at it, and found out that there's a small bolt pattern, and that's the one you're going to want to use. The motor and transmission or motor mount go good together. They look really good. The motor mount's got a little carbon fiber piece in there. It's kind of like a cover because you can't put an actual transmission cover on it. Everything bolted up really good, other than the little bit of a problem I had with the motor, which is kind of my fault. I wasn't paying attention. The Python Pro has a little switch right here. Everything went together so smooth. This is the smoothest setup I've done so far. I've been having a hard time with some trucks lately. But as you can see, it's a forward facing motor. I've got the Python Pro on the Endura chassis. There's a little slot down there and it's got a piece. That's what the Python Pro is on. And then I've got the stock V1 ESC back in here so I can run the brushless. You cannot run the V2. It won't drive. It'll turn, but it won't drive. I don't know what the deal with that is. But got that back here, just friction fit with some Velcro on the sides between the chassis rails. And then I've got some rock sliders from Endura. I've actually had these rock sliders since the first time I built the truck. I just never installed them. They've been on some other rigs and such, just temporarily. But because we can run 3S in this, I can run a 3S or 2S battery in this. First, we're going to go ahead and start off with a 2S battery, and then we'll go on to the 3S. Just before we get into crawling, I definitely want to let you guys know the product will be in the description below. Definitely check it out. $150 for the whole kit, which is super nice. Definitely worth it. I think it's one of the best motors we've got. It does make a little noise with the transmission setup, the Mofo RC transmission. It makes a little bit of noise with the metal gears, but don't let that bother you. Let's go ahead and get some 2S batteries in here and get to crawling. Alrighty, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and test some verticals. As you can see, the slow crawl on this is super nice. I think this has the best slow crawl out of all the rigs. It's the easiest to get to. One thing with this setup is it's a lot heavier than my brush setup. So I think I'm gonna have to do something a little different with the tires, maybe change up the foams or something. But I don't know, we'll see. As you can see, it got right on up it, did pretty good. Alrighty, so now we're gonna be testing a little kind of side hill and vertical with it, especially with that battery kind of sticking on the side. Nice slow crawl. The rocks are definitely not affecting it. This is what I really like the brushless setup for. This is a very hard line to get, especially when you're running brushed, because you got to be really slow to pay attention what the truck's doing to figure out what you're going to do next. But as you can see, got right on over it. Did pretty good. I'm really liking this setup. I've noticed it has a crap ton of torque. I think it definitely beats the creeper motor. I really love the creeper motor, but this motor is just awesome. One thing I learned from Cape Crawlers, actually, Adam from Cape Crawlers, is that these in-runner motors have less torque than the outrunner motors. I think he kind of explains it in the video. I'm not going to do that today. But as you can see, we definitely have some wheel speed. That's what I like. Another thing I like about this motor, as long as you use it right, you'll get yourself right on over what you need to, which is always good in a motor. There we go. As you can see, made it over with some wheel speed and wasn't too bad. So going on this course, this is where I think we're really gonna get this truck in a bind. Definitely didn't come in with a very good line, which is okay, because that means we're gonna be putting the motor to the test. As you can see, it just pushed right on up that rock. Got caught on that rock there, but it did not care. It just kept going. Spin around and come back through. See if we can get a cool line here. If you mess this up, you'll get in a pretty bad bind. As you can see, I did that pretty good though, which kind of sucks because I really want to show the torque of this motor. It's got so much throttle control with that Python Pro. I really like it. On 3S, all this heats up a little bit depending on how you're running it, but other than that, you should be pretty good. I usually don't have a problem with it because I don't really run 3S too much. Alrighty, so a bit of a slow crawl test, kind of getting the camera more. We are not going, there we go. Very pretty slow crawl. As you can see, that's probably the slowest slow crawl that we had out of all the trucks, and it is amazing. It's pretty easy to get as long as you're focusing. See if we can find a jump out of FOC. I don't think so. Nope. Go again. Nope. As you can see, there's not really a jump in FOC. I couldn't find one, but a bit of a speed test. Definitely has pretty decent speed. I think it's a little slower than stock motor. And we're running the 57mm Swamp Kings. So let's throw some 3S in there and test the slow crawl and top speed. All right, so here we go. We've got the Mofo RC 200 milliamp hour 3S, and it is super jumpy. As you can see, it's pretty quick. I'd like to test 4S in both this and the Bronco. They can both run it. but I might have to make an adapter and throw some Urgenix batteries in it. But go ahead and test the slow crawl, getting the camera a little more. As you can see, the slow crawl with 3S is just as good. Not as controllable, I think, just because it's a little jumpier, but it's still super controllable. Same with 2S. I don't think there's much of a jump out of FOC. Nope. Now, top speed. Not really a top speed, but a speed test. Pretty quick. Definitely faster than a lot of rigs. That is one thing I have ran into, is once I, sometimes if I flick it, sometimes when I flick it, it could be the Eco Power servo, but sometimes when I flick the steering, it'll keep kind of jittering. But yeah, so far so good. Just real quick before we head inside to talk about this awesome beast, we're gonna go ahead and demonstrate the 3S power. Hopefully I can get the line again. I do seem to be having a connection problem. It keeps disconnecting. Could be because this ESC has been beat up. But there we go. Go ahead and test it on out. As you can see, we just bounced right up that. Did not care what was in the way. Go ahead and try up here. Ooh, flipped over. Our steering is binding up a little bit. Not the best servo. And another thing is we're missing a shock. But keep going real quick. Tuck the shock in. We're gonna go ahead and hit this one more time. As you can see, it just bounces right on over everything. There it is again. We have a disconnect, so I'll definitely have to figure that out. But yeah, I like it. Alrighty, so there we go. As you can see with this setup, this thing is like 10 times better. I love this setup so much. Sadly, I like it more than all the others. It's got the best slow crawl we've ever seen. And the fact that it's waterproof is awesome. Maybe I'll have to do a little bit of tweaking to the stock ESC so that we can actually get in the water with it. I know that they're kind of water resistant and not a true waterproof. So maybe we can get it a little wet and not really have to worry about it. But I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, part in the description below. Definitely recommend it. It is the best thing I've done in a while. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.